G'day, it's Heath here from pickinglessons.com. This is the third part in the introduction to melodic banjo techniques and the style of playing. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at a different key than we've been working in. We've been working in G primarily. In this lesson, we're going to look at the key of D, but we're going to still be in standard open G tuning. So it's a really interesting way of looking at a different key that we're going to play in, key of D, D major scale, but the open G tuning banjo. Now, we're going to look at some exercises and some scales, but we've also got this great tune you just heard there, the Scholar. And the Scholar's in the key of D, lots of movement, lots of fast picking, so it's a great one to work on. Now, key of D, so open G tuning, just standard tuning, high G, D, G, B and D. It works really great with the key of D without changing anything. The D major scale has only one note different to the key of G. So that's why it works really well. So let's have a look at the D major scale just to begin with. This is the 1 octave pattern. So the D major scale, the main difference is that we have a C sharp rather than a C. Key of G has a C note in the scale, in the key signature. The D major scale or D major key has the C sharp in there. So we're going to be using that 6th fret rather than 5th as we play the scale. There's a C sharp to our D. So it works great without having to change anything really in terms of the tuning. Now, there's 1 octave, that's cool. Let's play 2 octaves. We're going to make our way all the way up to that 12th fret. So again, the C sharp there is with the thumb in that 2nd octave, but that's it, that works really great. Works wonderfully in this tuning. So that's a D major scale, which opens up a whole lot of options for us to play tunes that are in the key of D without having to change anything. It works great, it works really well. So first of all, get to know those 2 scales. So we've got the D major 1 octave and the D major 2 octave. So really get to know those patterns and really work on the position changes. So in the 1 octave pattern, we have a position change there we find that kicks us off. We really want to make sure that we get that transition and comfortable with that transition. So that you're comfortable with that 1st finger and 3rd finger reaching the positions that they need to be in. The same goes for the D major 2 octave scale. So as we reach the 2nd octave, we've got this position change, and this is really crucial. We come across this so often in these melodies, and the Scholar is a great example of the position changes that we're going to need in these scales. We really do focus on them in the Scholar. So as we come through the 2nd octave of the D scale, we've got this position change. So those 2 positions there, and being comfortable with that, so that when we run the whole course of the scale, you're comfortable with the 2 position changes, and then in reverse, of course. So we can work on those position changes independently, and of course the 2nd octave as well. Just being comfortable with that quick change. One thing to note on those changes is that the open string is our point of time where we shift. So for example, in the open position, open G, so we have that open G as we shift position. Open G's played, my left hand's moving. That's the part that we really need to focus on. Same on the reverse. open string, my left hand's already transitioned to the next position. Same for when we go up the neck. So we have the open D, E, F sharp, open G as our left hand shifts. And the way back, same deal. Open G as I shift back to the F sharp. Open and shift. So as you play the open string, just before the shift, the hand's moving during that time. So that's what you need to focus on. If you can do that with these two scales, you're going to be in a good position for these melodic tunes. We do that an awful lot, and particularly in the Scholar, the example. Now, if you head to pickinglessons.com, you're going to be able to grab yourself a copy of the chart we're just working through. So that was the technical work there. We've got two scales. We've got some exercises up next we're going to break down in the members section there. But you'll also be able to grab yourself a copy of the Scholar. And the Scholar is that tune we heard at the beginning of this video. So we've got the Scholar to work on. Great melodic tune in the key of D. We're getting pretty tricky now, this third part of the lesson. This is a harder tune. We do have a few more exercises, really focusing on positioning and getting to know the D major scale while we're still in open G. We'll break all that down in the members section, plus we'll break down the Scholar, the tune, parts A and B. So pickinglessons.com, I'll see you there.